As per a study, people who live in a happy relationship but do not express their emotions freely and emotionally are likely to die early as compared to the people who live in an unhappy relationship but express their emotions openly and freely. Yes. Does it imply that it is less about your happiness or unhappiness and more about expression of your emotions and thought and or suppression of your thoughts? Yes, it actually goes out to prove that those suppressed emotions that you have buried within you are more likely to cause stress to you, and this stress will eventually lead to mental disorders and physical disorders such as arthritis, asthma, or even cancer. Namaskar, this is Dr. Meenu taking you through deep healing process. If you're liking my content, please hit like button and also please subscribe to my channel. Also hit the notification bell so that next time when I upload a video, you get notified of it. So as I am saying about expression or suppression of your thoughts and emotions, when I say suppression of your thoughts, I am not referring only to the thoughts as an adult that you might be suppressing. By suppression of thoughts, I would want you to go back to your childhood phases, which obviously you may not even remember now, but from 0 to 7 years of age, all those emotions which became our default mode and are buried in our subconscious mind are the ones which come back in the form of anger, fear, shame, guilt, frustration, envy, jealousy, manipulative behavior, controlling behavior. If we address those suppressed emotions which we have ingrained in our mind since our childhood, in our subconscious mind, automatically the daily stress of getting triggered by how others treat us and getting triggered in the form of these emotions such as anger and other emotions which I just discussed few seconds back, those can be addressed and you will have less of stress. You will be watching as a spectator everything that happens in your life, and this would give you a peaceful and a anxiety free as well as a stress free life, obviously leading to a healthier life. Now, how would you know that you have suppressed emotions inside you? As I said in previous videos, also I have addressed this issue that in case you are driven by all the negative emotions which I have just a few seconds back discussed, if you withdraw yourself from situations, get angry, lash out at people, you cannot handle disagreements and conflicts in a very mature manner, you like to not confront people, you like to stay away from unnecessary arguments and all that, and take stress over all those things, you find it very difficult to say no. If you're driven by all those negative emotions, you definitely have emotions which are suppressed in your subconscious child from your childhood days, and if you do not address them now, then only leads to further problems in your adulthood. Please understand that as a child we were programmed to follow instructions and directions given by our caregivers. So if somebody said study in the morning, that became our default mode. So if today somebody asks you what is the time, what is the appropriate time when you would like to study, your immediate reply is going to be early morning. You did not honor your emotions at that point of time. You could not, because you were in a survival mode, you were in an adaptive mode, you had to survive, and in the survival mode the child has to be obedient. He has to follow whatever the instructions are given by the caregivers. Caregivers could be anybody. It could be your parents, it could be your teachers, it could be your elder siblings, it could be your creche people where you go and stay after your school. So you get into a survival mode, and whatever instructions or directions are given to you, you just simply follow them. So do you mean to say that I am saying that being obedient is not a good thing? No. Being obedient is the appropriate strategy that a child can adopt as a child in those years, because it is an adaptive mode, it is a survival mode. So as to be in the adaptive mode or survival mode, whatever is being told to him has to be followed by him. He has no other option. He is a powerless creature, and as a powerless creature, all he can do is just be in a survival mode. That is not wrong. What is wrong is when the same mode carries on during the adult age also. So let's say now your boss says work late in the evenings. You are still in the same default survival mode, and you do not honor your emotions, and you do not have the capacity to say no, I would finish my task, but I would do it within the specified office timings. This is just a small example. Could be many other things which can come from this. Think of your childhood as to why you would obey all the instructions and commands given by your caregiver. Were you scared of their screams, or scared of some punishment coming from that? Maybe you would say yes, but deep within, it was not screams or punishment that you were scared of. It was probably that feeling of being unloved, or the fear of being abandoned. And the same fears and the same feelings, the guilt feelings, the feeling of being unloved, gets carried on till the adult time. And the people around you, could be your spouse, could be your children, could be your colleagues, people around you, your bosses, you still carry the same fear, shame and guilt, and you're afraid of losing that love, respect, because you are, through your childhood programming, in the default mode, operating in the same manner. So that's where the suppression of thoughts started. That's where the suppression of emotions started. As a child, you did not honor your emotions. As an adult, in the default mode, same manner, you're not honoring your emotions. What a powerless feeling. What a powerless feeling. You are not honoring your own thoughts and emotions, neither as a child, because it was a survival mode, but you just pick that up as a default conditioning programming, and today you're operating in the same manner. As a child, I do agree that we all idolize our caregiver. How would a small child who's 2 years, 3 years, 5 years or 7 years know what is right and what is wrong? So we idolize our caregivers, our teachers, our parents, our relatives, our elder siblings also. So whatever they ask us to do is the gospel truths for us. They would not guide us anything wrong. So if they tell us blue is the favorite color, studying in morning is the right thing, playing in the evening is the right thing, that becomes the gospel truth for us, and that becomes the default mode also. So today, if somebody would ask me what color, what time, what is the appropriate time to study, when should one play, it is not me who's answering. It is that default mode which is answering. Perhaps at that point of time, my emotions wanted to say that not blue, it is the green color which I like. Not mornings, I would like to study in the evenings. I would not like to play in the evenings, I would like to play in the afternoon. So maybe my body and mind wanted to say but could not say, because as a child I was powerless creature. But now as an adult, if I do not unlearn those things, if I do not remove all those patterns, I will not be in a position to stay away from stress, and I'll be repeating the same practices of anger, frustration, controlling behavior, manipulative behavior, fear, abandonment issues. All those negative emotions will still prevail in my behavior, and eventually what will happen? These negative emotions will lead to daily stress, and this daily stress will cause me mental and physical disorders. As per Dr. Gabor Mate, treatment of diseases like asthma, arthritis, intestinal problems, and even cancer involves steroids. And these steroids, they contain cortisol and adrenaline. Cortisol and adrenaline both are stress hormones. How come stress hormones for the treatment of diseases like arthritis, asthma, intestinal problems, and even cancer? Now you can relate. Can you correlate the entire cycle? Stress is the root cause of these problems, and to cure for the treatment of these problems, stress hormones are given, and these stress hormones in higher quantity further causes damage to the patient. So eventually you have to understand that this cycle has to be broken. And the stress, as per Dr. Gabor Mate, if you go a little more deeper, stress comes from childhood trauma. So childhood trauma, if that is treated, stress would eventually reduce, which will eventually affect your physical and mental disorders. Positively, it will affect your mental and physical disorders, thereby giving you a healthier life. And you see, as more and more women, they stress because of home life, or nowadays dual life of home and office, they get this problem of arthritis. For the arthritis, as I said, usually steroids are given, which are stress hormones, cortisol and adrenaline. Now, every doctor will tell you to increase the quantity of vitamin D, get in the sunlight. They'll ask you to, apart from having vitamin D, to increase the intake of calcium. But no doctor will address the root cause of the problem, and that is stress. And if you look at it the other way, lot of companies, pharma companies, R&D companies, millions and billions of money, funds are spent every year on finding cure for asthma, cancer, as well as all these intestinal, all these physical disorders that people face. Since ages we have been hearing it, year after year, billions of amount is being spent on finding some cure for cancer and arthritis and asthma. But no company, no R&D would ever look into the stress level of curing the stress level of these patients. Every R&D focuses on cellular level. That means pushing the disease a little further by increasing the lifespan of the patient, but not completely eradicating the disease from the patient. And that is why we have been hearing about cancer and other diseases since so long, but there has never been a cure for it. The only lifespan increase of the patient, because unless we go deep down into the root cause of the problem, we cannot cure these problems. And why R&D would not find a solution, or would not go into that deep? Because eventually they are funded by pharma companies, and for pharma companies it's more about commercialization. It's not about finding the actual cure for this. Something which impressed me a lot, in one of the conferences, Dr. Gabor Mate goes on to applaud Indian Ayurvedic system for giving a holistic treatment to mind, body and soul. It made me feel very proud that Indian Ayurvedic system has been recognized by Western doctors as providing that kind of cure, which looks not only at the cellular level, it looks at the deeper level, and which is stress and trauma level, to cure the patient. You see, more and more kids today have ADHD, depression, even the suicide rates are increasing all across the globe. And that is the reason it is extremely important for all of us to address the problem as an adult from our level, from our core issues. If we heal ourselves as an adult, as a parent, automatically the younger generation will be healed. We'll be able to provide them a trauma-free environment. So therefore, if we have attachment issues, abandonment issues, core wound issues, codependency issues, feeling of not being loved, not feeling enough or important, whatever, ranging from the childhood stage, whatever issues we have, we must address them. And because these are mental issues, it's not like physical issue wherein a surgery has to be conducted, so first they'll numb the pain. In mental issues, you can't numb the pain, you can't bypass that process. You have to feel that pain. It can be painful at times. As I keep saying, it can be painful, but feel that pain. Because when you feel that pain, when you go down to your childhood, recall those incidents, forgive everyone from whom you expected, your sibling, your elder sibling, or your parents, your teachers, your friends, whosoever at any point of time caused hurt to you. Meditation, as I keep saying, works wonders with the right affirmations, right technique really works wonders when it comes. And self-healing, because we are talking about self-healing, you don't have to go to any therapist, you don't have to attend lot many sessions. You can just spend 4 to 5 minutes in the morning or 4 to 5 minutes in the evening going within, but then do it in a very focused manner, as in you do your projects in the office, having a clarity as to what is the outcome you want. With that outcome in mind, go into those childhood phases, recall those phases, forgive people around, forgive yourself for carrying those pains within for so long. Once you start healing yourself, believe me, the younger generations automatically start getting those vibes, and the trauma-free environment that you start creating outside automatically happens. There are lot many things that we need to do. For example, I see a lot of us glamorizing the fact that somebody who works late, is a nice person. I can cite my own example. When my father expired 2 years back, 2 days later I was traveling to my head office and for some arbitration case, because I was numbing that feeling. I did not want to cry. I was so scared of crying. So I was trying to keep myself as busy as possible. That's what we do. So let's stop glamorizing those people who run away from their homes to sit long hours in office and do not honor their body, who do not take leaves. We should not be glamorizing that. We should glamorize those people who honor their body, who honor their emotions, and either take leaves when required. You need to have that work-life balance. We need to respect life to that extent. It is not just about work or play. There has to be an appropriate balance between both the things. Some of the good souls have requested me to make a guided meditative video. I am contemplating that, and very soon I'll come out with that. Maybe the next video will be a guided meditative video. But I hope that today's video has given a little clarity on what is the correlation between these diseases and the core wounds that we have suppressed in our subconscious mind. Let's dig them out. Let's bring them out. Let's once and for all, let's heal them completely. Because every human being who's healed will create more healers, more human beings who are healed. Think of a woman who's in her family who's healed. She'll eventually have her kids who are healed. She'll and the kids will also inspire their peer groups to heal. Let's have a trauma-free generation. That's what my aim is. Thank you so much. I'm sure you have liked the session today. Thank you.